That's 7 o'clock, right on the button. I don't know if did it pick up the radio there? Anyway. All right. So here's a few things that I want to go through a few pictures here. Then I want to go through Len's list of things that are really great to talk about here. All right. So two things about Fred and Friends. All right. There's two aspects to that. One is this terrific, wonderful network that they build. And as someone associated with the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club, I think it's terrific to be part of that, to join it, to add to it, whatever. I don't know what it is, but to be part of that network is definitely something to look in the future. Now, that's totally separate, and that's the whole HPARC thing, a whole right. But we want to talk about the DART and putting up this antenna. And let's take a look at this because I was up there last night. We were testing with, or not last, was it last night? What day's today? Oh, today's Monday. Yeah. So it was, yeah, yesterday, not last night, but yesterday afternoon with Tony and John AAAUU, and we were doing some testing. So it gave me an opportunity to look even closer at what we are dealing with. So fortunately, we have this. Okay, you've seen this before, but we have this leftover, and this is leftover from a cable tray that was previously here. I have photos, but I didn't include it. Just yeah, you've seen it. I guess I should. I wish I would have. But anyway, so this used to be a cable tray, right? So okay, so let's look a little closer at that. Okay. So here's what we're talking about. So we're talking about these three pieces of unistrut, and actually there's penetrations for a fourth piece of unistrut that was removed for some reason, and it's down lower. Okay, but that's totally out of our concern for that. So let me go back a minute. So if you look here, hold on, let me get my pointer. So here, if you look, this is our current antenna, okay? So two things about this location. Number one, the steel columns right here are on 8-foot centers. So exactly on the opposite side of this wall, which I'll show you in a minute, is where the new rack would go. Okay. And John and I was up there with John yesterday. And so we were just talking about how that's all going to unfold, but we'll hold that off till later. All right. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at something like this. Okay. So now when you look on the inside to say, well, what is exactly those things attached to? That is better than what we currently have, which is bending our current in the bolts from here and here are bending the inside of the corrugated metal, whatever. So okay, so let's take a look. So uh, I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that that's a bolt that's probably pretty stable and ain't going to go anywhere. Okay. Look through that. And then here are some of the other ones just to give you an idea. Now these because the structure is wider than the actual columns, so you can see. So it is partially, so it's kind of a hybrid between the corrugated or the sandwich, what do you call this material? I don't know what the proper name is, but it's basically two I think the aluminum maybe sheets with insulation between them. But anyway, so and here's a closer look at what some of those things look like. So okay, and I just wanted to just point that out, and I'm curious if this may be easier than we looked at. All right, now is there any discussion or anything, have anything to say before I go to I have a list here of things that we want to talk about that Len, uh,
Well, just about that, Joe.
yeah,
Um, that was put up, you said, for cable that's
no,
non-existent there now.
no, not cable. It was put up there for T-Mobile. It was a T-Mobile site.
Oh, okay. Um, so do we have approval to use that?
No, we do not yet. Yet. Okay. All right.
Okay, that's all
I,
I asked.
I was a
That's all I
little
just wanted to
sidetracked.
throw that out.
Yeah, I was sidetracked today a little bit, so couldn't get to it. But tomorrow it's top at my list. Well, the only thing standing between us and getting this thing done, which everybody wants, is landlord approval. So now that we have a little more idea what we're doing, um, and so my question is, do we hire the people from the building to do this, the superintendent, either, people from his team, or maybe he has a favorite vendor, or, somebody that he is comfortable working with, and that's, I think, the next step to take here. And not only that, it gives them sort of a sense of, I don't want to say a sense of ownership, but I mean a sense of ownership in the way that it's their people, it's done their way, it's their building, and believe me, we do not want to be making waves. I mean, it's generous that we have the space that we have, and it's for good purpose and good reason.
Hey
Um,
Joe, I have a
yes.
question about that. Just having
So,
worked a lot with Federation before,
yeah.
um, Jewish Senior Living, who is the owner of the building, is not the one you want to talk to about the radio communications. It's Federation Security that handles all the radio stuff.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you want
What
to
I
with the
what I
Federation Security because they handle they're the ones who put in the repeaters for Federation that wiring up between the different facilities.
That is an excellent lead. Thank you. What I had in mind was, June, he's the superintendent of the building.
No, I don't know him.
Yeah, so he's the building super, right? So all everything that happens in that building, if he's not on board, doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And
My understanding is Ed was handling security there. He's left. He has his own security company now. But I think Gary Sigorski is still head of Federation Security, and he would be the person
oh,
to talk to.
oh, he would be the person to talk to. Absolutely. Absolutely he would. Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, but if we're gonna do this, we should do it quickly, get an answer, and then decide if we're gonna move forward or not. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
Gary
think
can
it
give
should
you a
be
quick answer.
until Monday.
Yeah,
Wait,
Gary will
wait.
give you a real quick answer.
Hold on. Wait, let Dave, are you there? Say it again, Dave. I'm sorry.
I just said I don't think that it should be 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I think somebody should ask this guy whether it's something he's interested in being involved in. And if he says yes, then cool. And if he says no, well, then we move on.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's on my list for tomorrow. And listen, I'm with you on that. It's taken us a little while to get up to speed, but we're there, and we're ready to launch. So, let's get it done. It's funny. When you have a deadline, things get done. Without a deadline, sometimes they do have a tendency to drag on, but we want to be sensible about this. And so a couple of good things, topics I just before we break up here. So here's just a few things that were raised. And listen, you guys, if you got things to say, please. This is all right. So a few things. The guys from Seamen, Fred and company there. I You'll have to ask them why they lost interest. I don't know. I sent them what I sent everybody else, although Fred claims that he didn't receive the attachment. That wasn't from my end, I can assure you. I don't know. Listen, they have a huge accomplishment, and it's a terrific thing to be part of, and we want to support it. We do. I don't know that something this small I mean, let's see where we go there. But they do complex stuff. They go to their website. They have these guys, they have this dish hanging in the wind, as they're pulling it up on a rope to. Yeah, they do good stuff. But what we're doing here is really very simple. You know what I mean? So we want to, the next step here, let's get the building management cleared. We'll get that out of the way. And then there is nothing left in the way. Nothing. We have the funding, we have the permission, we have at least a method. And we have to get an installer, but if we could get the people in the building, my experience really is, stay tight with, with them. It will produce, I think, better results. So,
So
uh,
did I miss something, Joe? Do the Seaman guys say they're out?
oh, did I not say that? Yeah, yeah, Fred. And then I followed up. Fred sent me an email back saying they're not that they did not he did not get the attachment, the PDF attachment, and that they're not interested anyway.
Don't think the intention was to do repeater link, like audio link. I think it was just an IP link to increase their footprints.
Thank you. You're right. You know what? Dave is right. Yeah. It's to build up the IP infrastructure. So it's basically, it's IP technology, Internet Protocol technology over a wireless network rather than terrestrial fiber and all that. The idea behind it is, it's the one thing that's going to be left working when the internet one day totally crashes down and we're
But
all.
what are you linking it to, though? If it's just, the wireless aspect, what is it being linked to? What's the
It's
necessity of it?
it's basically
Well,
Hamnet Plus. It's Hamnet plus plus plus. It's faster Hamnet.
right. But Joe, I can also say, if you're just hearing what you said, when an emergency happens, all links are broken.
What do you mean?
It's not used for emergency. It's used, the reason they put it up and they
Oh,
have this linking across the state
right.
is to have more activity on all the repeaters. That's it. That's the only reason. When the emergency happens, like when ARPSC from Macomb County does a drill or puts up a Skywarn net like we did last week, we must unlink from them.
Huh. Okay.
So if you're thinking about emergency usage, no, it's not for that.
But so Mike, I wholly agree with you, but I just want to clarify because we're muddying the water between IP and audio here. So all the interlinked repeaters for audio, all of those links will be broken, but all of the IP links will remain up so that you can deploy an internet deployment remotely.
Oh, yes, yes, that's true. You're right. Thanks, Dave.
But all
Good
the audio
clarification.
links are broken.
Yep.
I see. And which would right, make sense. And so, great. Yeah. Thank you for that. Anyway, okay. So that's where we are. So I kind of lost my train of thought here, but let's see. The antenna's working well. Oh, this interference. Oh, great. Listen, this thing about the maintenance log, I have to say, being associated with this repeater all these years and not looking after that and making that happen is probably not a good thing. Although I will say that John he keeps notes here and there on stuff that he does and emails, and so that's not the problem. But I think the problem is gathering that all in one place and actually turning it into like a maintenance log. And
Where is John? We haven't seen him on any of these meetings in weeks, maybe months. Is he even
well, he's
actively
doing okay.
involved, or is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
a whole nother entity happening with the dart and we don't know of?
Yeah, yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. I spent the day with him yesterday. We went up to the roof and listen, life happens. You know what I mean? So,
That and his main concern is to keep the existing system working while we build and develop the new system.
oh, another good point. Right, that's on this list too. Yes, and I totally 100%. Why wouldn't we? What do we do with the old antennas eventually? That's a problem that we need to focus on when we're done building and just leave it alone for now. But 100% behind. Let's put in a second rack, a total second. Let's start from, wireless, get it wired properly and whatever needs to be done. There was a question on here, who is working on the new equipment? And I asked John about it yesterday, and we're going to start working on that now. So, and so
Joe,
he's across that. Yes, go ahead.
uh, I, I want to make it a formal proposal, and we can vote on it, that a log be kept with the repeater, and any changes and people that work on it, write down what they did, dates and so forth, and so others can keep up with it. But that's
Second.
my proposal. Any support for it?
I
Second.
support it.
100%, 200%. Absolutely. I don't want to, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
Now, it could be in writing in paper, or it could be on the computer, but eventually it should be where it can be shared.
Yeah, it'd be on the yeah, it would be on the shared drive. So now that we have our shared drive, all set up, with our
Now,
flow.
let me continue on a little bit here.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The last night we had a great net. We had no problems, no interference or anything the whole night or the whole day, for as I know. And the antenna works well. We have had in weeks, months past, we all know we've had some interference. John has made changes that have brought it in and brought it out, and he's aware of that. I don't know. I'm trying to find out what changes he made. I know he did some updating on the connections and so forth. I don't know who else is working, aware of the changes that he made, but we need to have a handle on those type of things before we start. Of course, we can go ahead and build another system parallel to it, which would be great. New antenna, new whatever, everything, before we start taking the old stuff down, if we need to take the old stuff down. And
Right. I
it'll
mean,
give us a good firm foundation to work on.
I totally agree. I totally agree. To have parallel systems, and like I said, right now every ounce of our attention needs to be on building the new stuff, and so the old stuff needs to stay working, and then we'll figure out what to do with the old stuff. But what we did is we kind of looked at the floor space. One of the problems is there's a fire alarm, like right where we want to put the rack, wouldn't you know it, right? But there's a fire alarm thing, so we got to keep clear. So we can't put it exactly where we want it, but we'll separate the two racks by, I don't know, maybe 4 feet, something like that, and closer to the door as you walk in up there. So we'll have and the two racks will face each other. So you go down like a common, you turn right, the old rack, you turn left, it's the new rack. So
I got a proposal on the table right now. I heard some support for it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
And if any objections to it, any objections to having a log and keeping track of any changes in activity up there. Okay, Joe, you can call for a vote.
Okay, let's take it to a vote. So how many people would vote for establishing a maintenance log for the DART that would record any changes? So anyway, everybody, one.
I'll approve.
I do.
So I see more hands up than down. Now I see all hands up. So I guess this is an all hands on deck kind of event. Anyway, okay, thank you, Len. Terrific idea and something that is long, long overdue. And thanks to the good work that Vera did for us, setting up the shared drives. And I'll send out an email too on how to get to it, a step-by-step email, how to get to it. So we'll get that going. And we do have a lot of information that could be pulled together. So hopefully we'll be able to do that one day. But let's going from this point going forward, any work that's done shall be recorded. Okay. All
On
right.
on either system, the new or the old one,
Yeah,
especially.
and on either the VHF or the UHF,
Yep.
on any of the DART repeaters. So I'll give you a quick update on. Did we talk about it already? We did some testing yesterday with the link, the microwave link. We were moderately successful. So we're now trying to figure out a more of a long distance a test and how to get that sorted out. So we did a test just close by and were able to make contact. I think the bit rate, if I remember, I actually maybe it was 20 megabits, or I mean it's something that was more than adequate that we would need. But then when we and that was right across 696, up on the roof there, right across 696. So um um so that okay, so we made a sale, and so we proved that the system works. So that was a big question, frankly, because on field day I was having my doubts whether the system is even working. So it's working. Okay. So then he
I
moved.
have a question on that with the system. I'm just curious. When it is the full length of it, when you have it finally set up, are you taking into account rain or snow days where you'll have a fade on the signal?
Yeah. So 5 gigahertz. Okay. My
Right, which
experience,
is going to cause a fade.
right. So my experience has been I think in the upper microwave band, like 13 gigahertz, 6 gigahertz, which is what we worked on in the TV world. In fact, I think it's no longer now. I think it was bought by the cell phone companies. I think now they're on 13. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the experience has been at that frequency, it has to really be pouring down rain in order for, I mean, really, I mean, we're talking about torrential downpour before it starts affecting anything. At a higher, like I'd say 10 gigahertz and higher, yes.
Well, I've
Most,
had problems with 8, and that's why I was wondering.
oh, eight, okay, eight too,
And
yeah, not as much, but yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, combined mode of a couple of kilowatts into a 60 dB gain antenna did not pierce it. And that's why I was just wondering. And it's happened a few times, not just once or twice.
Sure. Yeah, it's an art form in a way. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but I'm just curious because we do get snowstorms here
we do. We
and
do.
heavy rainstorms. So if we're on the fringe, if we're having a long link with something that's low power, we'll be able to handle it.
Right. So right now we're looking at specifically what are we doing right now? What is the purpose of this? Which I know is off subject of what we're talking about, but we want to, as phase 4, I think it is, establish the link between the VHF and the UHF site so there's internet access and all that sort of stuff.
Why do you really even need to link those two repeaters? Honestly, why can't they be independent? Just to have internet on one,
Yeah, there's
you
no
gotta link
internet,
it.
so you can't
Well,
have
what's so?
Echolink or any of that stuff. Oh, because over at the water tower,
Yeah,
we're running on the city's internet actually, but there's real restrict. It's really locked down tight, so it's difficult to get things happening. And that would be a slide in itself. Why do we need
why,
to do? Why
why
do
do
we?
they even need to be linked? Why are you cross banding them? The latency issue is repulsive. You can't work either repeater when there's such latency in between the cross
Well,
banding.
that's the
So
different. But see, uh, uh, the uh, the reason is because right now, when the two repeaters are linked, like they currently are, it gets demodulated, then decoded. This all happens. I think it's in John's garage or his basement or wherever at John AA8UU. He actually does the link there, and I think it's half on internet and half receiving off air or some combination of that. So yeah, there is latency. Now, if we set up this link between the VHF and UHF, then when you time together, the latency, if it's even noticeable, will be minute. So There's the advantage right there. But that's why you're seeing the latency
Yeah,
between the two.
I don't know. I still don't understand why they're linked. You know, they're only 3 miles apart. It's not like one's on the other side of the county, which would be ideal if it was up in the north part of Oakland
Right,
County.
right.
Then link it, that way, so it acts as a remote receiver. But right now, what? They're only 3 miles apart. What's the necessity of having a crossband operation on the Dart right now? You can
Well,
work one or the other.
right.
Sometimes, the UHF currently works better than the VHF, hands down. So
You
I have
just
no I have no idea why they even need to be linked. They're 3 miles apart, so it's not like you're linking a great distance between the two. So
But the difference in frequency is a big difference. I mean, even if they were co-located, let's say they were both in the same location,
yeah, well, the
it's
frequency
not
doesn't
so
have.
much.
I
Yeah,
don't know
go
what the
ahead.
frequency doesn't have anything to do with it. It's the location, right? Why are you cross banding UHF and VHF
For
to
coverage.
repeaters?
So, okay. All right. Good point. Good point. So back in the early days of this project, I thought it would be a good idea if we could plot out the footprints of both the VHF and the UHF coverage area to see where the holes are, to see what the coverage area is. The reason for the linking the two repeaters together is, in a theoretical sense, is to combine the two footprints because they're definite, VHF versus UHF. Being a few miles separated gives a little diversity there, so that's probably not a bad thing, rather than having the VHF and UHF co-located. So it gives us a little diversity. Um, to answer that question, Al, 100%, we'd have to look at the two footprints and to see what the different coverage areas actually are. We're on a slant, or not a slant. What do we're higher altitude than near the lakes, for example, near Lake Huron.
Like you're 3 miles apart, the elevation change isn't that great, and there's not going to be that much of a dropout in between the two repeaters. So you're
Well,
not
why
going to
do
be you're not picking up that much gain by crossband repeating both repeaters into one. I still
so,
don't get it, honestly.
so if you had to say did you say that you think the UHF repeater has a better coverage area than the VHF repeater?
Yeah, reception wise, absolutely, without a
Right.
doubt, hands down. That
So wouldn't
the
that be
St. Clair, you can work that UHF from St. Clair up there on the river. So
I would
right?
the
also
Dart, you
think
can't. There's
would
no
also think
chance.
I would also think that on mobile operations, it's a little more stable from the car end, transmitting into the 440 with its location and what it's mounted on than what we're doing when we are going on 2 meters.
Right. Do you think so? Yeah, very possible. Very, very possible.
I think it's more stable.
It seems so with the interference and stuff on VHF. UHF is a little cleaner spectrum wise. I mean, if you look at it on your
For
SD,
driving around Metro Detroit,
yeah,
the 440 side is a cleaner.
yeah,
It's cleaner for a mobile to be on the 440 side. It's just that latency causes it to not make it usable because no one will let you in.
well, I agree with part one, totally agree. And say that again about who won't let you in for
Well,
what?
you just can't get in. If there's people operating on the 2 meter side because of that latency, many times you can't get in. You can go for half an hour with people operating before they leave enough time for the 440 side to get in.
I'm sorry. So what
People
you're,
don't leave enough a gap on the 2 meter side because it's such a latent, there's so much
oh, you mean
latency. So
when you
someone
let,
on 440 can't break in on a 2 meter QSO.
They're quick
got it.
keying on the 2 meter side.
But you don't even have to be quick. Even if you're not quick, you wait till the courtesy tone, you still don't have enough time.
Was that interesting? You know what? Definitely something at least deserves a slide, if not to be
Well,
totally looked
when we get
into.
the system up and fully functional with all the remote receivers, we can go back to using the UHF site for its proper purpose of fusion.
Well, thank you. That's
And
Question
All
of
Star.
an all-star and all that stuff. Yeah. All
And
right. Well,
then
first thing,
they
it's
won't need the
already set up
crossband
for
at that point.
fusion. It's already set up for fusion without making any changes, so.
It is. It is. It should be on automatic. So it'll recognize fusion. It'll recognize analog. At least it was at one point set up for automatic. Whether it is at this very moment, you have to ask John. A8UU. So, all right. Anyway, all right. What else? What else are we? Is it time to order the antenna? I will. Just one thing before we answer that question. I think it's kind of cool. It's up to you guys, but I think we should order a wind monitor indicator, one of those things that tells the wind speed up there. I mean, I don't know. It's just interesting to see. Anyway, is it time to order the antenna? Well, there's two answers. Two answers. We could order the antenna right now, but it would have to be delivered and stored in Len's garage, or we can get, I promise, landlord building management approval. We just got to get that done, and boom, and then we can order the antenna. It's off the shelf, I believe. Oh, good question. Is it immediate delivery? Great.
How long will it take to get here?
2, 3 days, I guess. I mean,
I don't know.
It's a 22 feet, right? It's a 22-foot container. Probably, my guess, it's maybe a wooden sort of what do you call it? Crate, or I don't know. Maybe it's card. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's cardboard. Actually, now that I think of it, it's not really that big, but. It should fit on a regular what do you call a FedEx truck, or that delivery truck or UPS or whatever. I
Or a
think,
freight truck.
but we don't have to worry about that because we're paying $400 to let them worry about how to get it to us. They just have to get it to us. We sign it, and if we could have it delivered directly to site, it makes sense to me. But if you want to order right now and just get that out of the way, but then we have to worry about how do we get it from Len's house to the site. And then maybe in 2 or 3 days, we'll actually have an answer, which is I'm hoping for. And we'll move ahead.
That transportation problem has been solved. Hugh has a truck that'll transport it by himself. Well, with help lifting, of course, but I mean, his truck
Right.
will transport that antenna by
Okay.
itself.
Okay. I mean, we know what we're buying and we're ready to buy it. I mean, let me do this. Let me do my thing tomorrow and get us a reading of which way the wind is blowing over there on how best to approach this. Listen, if we get it direct delivered, it's just one less thing to worry about. But let's see what they have to say there. And that thing about Sikorsky is a great. Thank you for that. That's a great great idea to reach out to him. Yeah.
Is the coax coming from the same place?
It's hardline. It could, I guess. Yeah, they're all listed individual. Hold on, let me go to the list and see where do we have the manufacturer. That's a good question. But
You originally had it in the RFQ for the supplier or the installer to supply the
the installer
cabling.
to supply it, yeah. Well, what we would do is we would order. Let me just look real quick because I forget what. Come on. Wait a minute. Why isn't that? What is that? Oh, okay. Let me just push all the right buttons here. 99 we want to go to. Okay. All right. So now what was the question now?
Is the coax coming from the same place?
Yes. If we get it from the antenna farm, yes, we get everything from the same place.
Okay. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's where thank you for that. Yeah, I knew I had the manufacturers listed. That's where we got the prices from Antenna Farm.
25 feet. That's all you need.
Well, if good for pointing that out. If it's right on the other side of the wall from the antenna, if the antenna is just on the other side of the wall of the equipment rack, yes. But here's what the way I would do it, frankly, if we, is basically you let them install the pipe and the antenna, and also be responsible for getting it from the ground up to the roof. So we'll talk to June about that, and Sikorsky. We'll talk to them about how to do, if they could help us with that. And then in terms of what am I talking about? I'm talking about the transmission line. Yeah. So what you do, then you take, like that rope they use to hang laundry line, whatever it's called. Anyway, once the pieces are in, you take the laundry line. This is the way the guys do it. You take the laundry line and then you fish it through the way that you want the cable to go, and then you cut the laundry line and then you pull it all back, right? And then you measure it, and then we'll have the supplier put on the end connectors for us. I know somebody locally has that. I have end connector. I have the kit for the coax, but I don't have, and I have the connectors, but I don't have. I've never done it on hardline, to be honest with you. That was always a specialty. So we'll figure that out. But that's how you get a feed line cut to exact length and make it look nice. And to answer the question about what did John do, what he did, yes, what he did for the maintenance and why the repeater's working well. In the duplexers, if you recall, maybe I have a picture of them. There's 6 cans, and at the top of each of the cylinders. Oh, here, how about that? Oh, I love it when a plan comes together.
We're not seeing any changes, Joe. We're still
I know. Stand by. 108. So.
Okay.
There. Okay. So what he did was, so you see, is there a better? No, it's good enough. Okay. So you can see that these connectors here, see, it's just a loop that comes up. Maybe I can zoom in. A loop that comes up. And so what he did was, there we go. So you see these loops connect all the cans together. The left side, which is labeled green, is either transmit or receive. I can't remember. It's probably receive. It's green. And the red side here would be the transmit side. But the problem with this is, and you can totally not open these at all. There's no access. But the problem is on these jumpers, the socket side, the side on the duplexer, that center connector where the center pin of the PL259 goes in, that center connector is so loose that it's barely gripping the center because it's just been stretched out over years and years and years. So
is that what John was working on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So and that's a possible cause for sometimes it works, sometimes it's about the quality of the connection right here. So that's what he worked on, and so we're replacing all that. So that's what that was about.
I got a question for Sean. I see Sean's on board here, and you were talking about about coax and about a hard line, and of course I'm sure you got other questions for Sean as well. But do we need the hard line when it's going to be just inside on the other side of the wall, basically? Do we need hard line, or does it last longer? What's the pros and cons of having hard line versus coax? Sean?
Great question. Go ahead.
Well, you of course, it depends on what when you say can you get away with? Yeah, absolutely. You could coax would probably, from a loss perspective, would be fine. But I think from rejecting interference in a rooftop environment where there might be other RF and things like that, from leakage, from just longevity, I think it's worth it to, it's a small run. I think it's worth it. You don't have to do 7/8. You can get away with 1/2 inch hard line because of the length of the run. But I think I'd still do hard line or a super flex, which is kind of like in between hard line and coax. So I think I'd spend a couple of bucks and do that if it were me.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, I totally agree. Okay. All right. So, um, and thank you, Sean, for joining us, by the way. We appreciate your input and your feedback on all this.
No
So,
problem. I just, like I said, in case you got a question, that's all. Thank you.
thank you. All right. So that's that. What else do we want to talk about? Is this what we're buying? Oh, this is what we're buying. So this would be the new stuff, and we have new connectors and all that. Now, the one thing to look at, of course, when you look at these, is the 2 dB insertion loss, which is pretty standard, you know. And remember, again, we're not talking about the transmitter. We got tons of power. Well, I don't want to overstate it, but you know, we have a 100-watt amplifier, all right, which is probably putting out 80 watts in reality. But we have enough to overcome the 2 dB insertion loss on that side. But it's the other side, being able to receive, you know, the weaker stations. That's where we really want our duplexers to, you know, to be the best that they can. It's, you know, basic radio philosophy is it's all about the antenna system. The rest of it, whatever, but it's all about your antenna system. So we want to hand off to the next generation, you know, something that they'll look at and scratch their heads and probably say, why did they do that? So I don't know. So
Is that the duplexer repairable though? Or Johnson's?
now you got to cut it open or something. The ones we have, let me go back to them. If these are openable, somebody should tell us how to do it, because upon a layman's examination, that was me. They look like you'd have to cut them open, and part of it is because it's a resonated cavity that's somehow, I don't know how they figure this stuff out, but they're able, you know, there's inductive and capacitance resonance circuits, tank circuits. Okay, so
Go
that
back to
makes
the new
sense.
ones, Joe.
What?
The new ones say that they're adjustable.
Adjustable for what
It says
frequency you're talking about?
Tunable.
tunable for
Tunable.
frequency.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
tunable. You don't have to cut them open or anything.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't. No, I didn't mean that.
Oh, I
What I
thought you
meant is
did.
on these here, these are also tunable. That's what these,
Oh, okay.
see these screws coming up?
Right.
That's what it is. Yes, they're tunable for the exact frequency. And you can see here, you can see right here, we have proof they're tunable.
Right.
At the factory, they tuned it to 146,640. So
I misunderstood. I thought you meant the new ones were not adjustable, tunable.
no, I beg your pardon on that.
My
That's
They're
mistake.
tunable.
Yeah, my mistake.
they're tunable within you know, within the range.
Right.
So,
Sean, have any experience on tuning these or dealing with them or putting them in or anything?
the only person I know who's ever tried it is Murray, and talked to him about that. It's not for the faint
Sean
of
about it.
heart.
Sean, have you done anything with these duplexers?
Yeah, absolutely. Any question in particular?
Have you tuned them, or they are? If we were to get them,
Yeah.
do we have to? Is there a time frame of you got to order them at that time? Are they custom made or what?
That I don't know. I don't know what lead time. I imagine each company is different. But as far as tuning, I would recommend factory tuning. You know, just have them tune them to your frequency. Yeah, we've tuned them. We've changed. You know, we've gotten a set and repurposed them in the ham bands, and of course they have to be retuned. It's you know, it's a little, you know, it's a little bit of a task, but it's not difficult. You know, given the right equipment.
How many manufacturers? What's the choice do we have of who we get it from?
Oh gosh, I mean,
Here,
I'd have to guess. There's you know, there's got to be half a dozen,
so
but
you
you
have,
know, there's two big ones.
I had them here. Hold on a
Are
minute.
they? Can you buy them off the shelf and have them tuned, or we got to have them custom built?
No, they're not built. You know, they do have these on the shelf, but they'll have to pull them off the shelf and then tune them.
Gotcha.
You know, they'll tune them in their factory and then send them off to you, you know, ready to go.
I had a bunch of them. I'm trying to see if I could pull the slides up, but so far not.
Well, we pretty much
But I
already,
have five or six. Oh, here. Oh, how about? Oh, well, maybe.
we're pretty much already set on this telewave one, right? I mean, there's no use.
That was.
Excellent product.
Yeah,
Telewave is excellent.
that's already done. The
Yeah.
choice.
And then these other guys are okay, I suppose, too, if
Yeah,
I could
but
get
the
them to
choice has
come.
been made, so there's no
Hold on.
reason to move on, to
Yeah. I
start
just wanted
changing things midstream.
Is
Hold
there
on.
a reason that we're waiting on ordering
Yeah, because we don't
some
have
of these
land.
things?
Yes, here's the reasons why we're waiting. I'm just trying to find, if I can't find it in the next 10 seconds, I'll give up. But all right,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, I think you
Why
can
are we
get
waiting? Because we now have a plan. We're going to submit it to the landlord. We'll get them cleared out this. I don't want to make a promise, but soonest. I promise you that will be my primary focus for this entire week is to, if not get the approval, be well on the way of getting it to the point where we're confident enough that we can put in an order and have it delivered. If not, I'm open to ordering it and delivering it. Len, I don't know how you feel about that. Deliver it at your house if you want. I would say give me 24 hours and I'll give you a reading on how my day goes tomorrow on what to do.
How much does something like that weigh?
50, I will tell you exactly how much it weighs here in a minute. Hold on. Let's see here. It weighs not a lot. Not a lot. It's like I want to say something, but I don't want to sound here we go. Okay. Wait, we're talking about the
antenna.
the antenna, sorry. Yeah,
No,
okay.
this. The antenna, we already know it's like
Yeah,
50
the
pounds.
antenna's 30 pounds. So all right, and then the other thing is it's a little heavier, to be honest with you. Range, maximum power, number of cavities, 6. RF Connect product description. How much does it weigh? Oh.
You got any ideas, Sean? Is it 200 pounds? Is
Oh,
it
right
50
here, right
pounds?
here. No, it's not 200 pounds. No, 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 right here.
35-pound
So,
package.
mechanical dimensions, cavity, finish, net weight. There we go. All right,
Oh, that's light.
we're the 1456, right? So that would be 35 pounds. That
That's what it
doesn't,
says.
does that seem right? It seems
That's what I would have guessed. I was going to say 30 actually.
okay. Not the ones we have, I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm just my concern why I'm asking Joe is I'm just concerned about I ordered something for myself and it came like 5 weeks later. And it was like, wait a minute, you're local, you're California. And I didn't get it for 5 weeks. So
Oh.
that just my concern about waiting on ordering.
Yeah, no, we don't want to. No, we wouldn't do that. I mean, well, I mean, maybe something that brings up a good point. I mean, in my mind, no, we put in the order and we immediately get it delivered. Well, that's a good point.
What if it's custom made?
They're not custom made. But they are custom tunable, like Sean was saying.
Right. And so if we got to say to this company, yes, we want this, we then make it on their list now.
Yeah.
And they got to take it off the shelf and tune it.
Right.
How many others do they have in line in front of us? And how long does it take them to tune it? Is it a day? Is it an hour? Is it 2 weeks?
That's to call the company and ask.
Absolutely. Great questions, and we'll do that. We'll do that. I do want to focus the next week on getting custom building approval so we can move ahead. So that's going to be my primary focus. If somebody wants to make that call, I mean, that it's a really it's an interesting thing that I didn't even think about to this point, but questions that we need answers for sure. Okay. So what this involves, it involves buying the new antenna. It involves mounting what's ever going to hold up the antenna, hopefully on those unistruts. It involves running the hard line transmission line that we cut to length and have two end connectors installed. We'll probably have to get a converter to convert the end to PL259, but okay, whatever. But we still have end connectors on that. And we'll do the hard line for the long term. Remember, our lifespan here is 40 years. I mean, we were handed an antenna system that's about 40 years old, so we want to do at least something as good to for the next 40 years there. Any other questions?
Is the installer gonna put the antenna in the right place, or I heard that somebody says Sean is gonna help us do that.
No. What's going to happen, what we said, let me just get back and just one more time make it totally clear. So here's the antenna. So here's our current antenna. Let me get my pointer if I can just do that for a second. Oops. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay. Hold on. All right, never mind. I don't need a pointer. Oops. Too many buttons to push. So, Les, I guess that was you saying that. So, oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. All right, now I have my pointer. Okay, so Les, look, here's our existing UHF antenna, okay? And there's all sorts of things about it that aren't great. Like it needs to be replaced. So the idea is there's existing unistrut that exists. There was a cable tray. This was all equipment. Boy, I wish I had that picture handy of what this looked like a number of months ago and where that came from. So our idea, I'm just trying to grab that picture if I could just to, oh, here we go. Okay. So this is what used to be there. Okay. So you see this cable trough right here? So it's that cable trough that that is giving us the opportunity here. And if I zoom in, so you can barely see from this angle, you see this connector here, this one here, and this one here.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Now there's one down here. Now this was removed for some reason. I don't know why, but it was, but okay.
That's what
So,
we're
so
building.
that's what we're talking about. Does that answer your question?
Is the antenna height going to be higher than what we got now?
That's 22 feet. And I would imagine not. It's a collinear dipole. In other words, it's like two dipoles end to end, and they match it somehow and make it all work by magic. But it's probably the same. No, it would be the same. I don't know. But this one is 22 feet long. This is what the wall looks like going through the. You can see the two layers of metal and the foam in between. So.
I don't think the station master, isn't that what you currently have up there?
We
Station
do.
master?
Station master,
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think that's over 22 feet long. I highly doubt it. In fact, that's really long if you think about it for a 2 meter antenna. How many wavelengths is that actually? That's more suitable for 10 meters at 22 feet. I'm
Okay.
curious. A question for Sean, if he's still in here. He's installed enough of these on top of, um, I guess, high-rise buildings. Although he mainly works with UHF frequencies. I'm curious if he approves of the antenna choice that you have right now for a 2 meter, repeater in our location. That is quite a heavy duty antenna. I don't know if it's a bit of an overkill for our needs. So I don't know if you want to perhaps run it by Sean to see if he thinks that.
I think I looked at, is that a PD, Super Station Master PD?
It's not
I think.
It's not a Superstation Master. I'll put it up. Hold on. Let me just grab it real quick.
The PD 150.
The PD 150, yeah.
Well,
Great antenna.
That's what it currently is. Yeah, but not the antenna that we're going to buy.
Ah.
That's what I'm wondering. Is the antenna
this is what we currently have. I'm just looking to see how long it is. Does it say maximum power, flexible? It does not say how long it is, but I will tell you that's not what I want to go.
I think I just saw 18 feet.
Did you? I thought it
I
was on
may
there.
have.
The flexible extension.
Vertical beam. Oh, vertical. Is that beam width? Sorry.
Beam width, yeah, 18
Sorry.
degree beam
Sorry.
width. Yeah, yeah.
18 feet.
Well, that's the current antenna. I'm talking about the
Anyway,
new
so
antenna. Right.
this is how big it. I mean, it's big. It's big. It could be. Look at this.
That's pretty typical, 20 foot, give or take.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
station master,
what's the new antenna, Joe?
Here's okay. This is even here. I don't even go to the top of it, but that's easily well, it's tall.
is
I
it
took,
is it $2,500 tall?
well, if it lasts for 40 years without an outage, it's $2,500 tall. I mean, and hopefully we can work on that price a little bit too.
And the farther we can get out into Oakland County, the better it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And less noise I get on my signal.
I mean, this is a once in a very long time opportunity, and we want to do it right, and we don't have to worry about it later. I don't want to have to come back and, oh, we should have done this, or we need to make this adjustment or upgrade. I mean, well, let's get the antenna system up there. Really,
You,
it has the toughest job in the whole system. It's constantly bombarded with sun rays and weather and wind and freezing. And I mean, it's tough
you were
being up
trying to
there.
find the specs on the new antenna, Joe.
Oh, I was. Was I? Okay, stand by. We have those. I can do that if I can find my cursor here. The specs on the new antenna are right here. Is this it? Yes, here. Here are the specs on the new antenna. So you can see it's 244 inches. So do the arithmetic and you'll see that it comes out to 244 divided by 12, which is big.
And
Oh.
how much was the station master price wise? Any idea?
Well, we went there first. We wanted the station master in the first place, but it's not no longer. It was not available. Hold on just a second. What's my question? Oh, 244 divided by 12. I'm sorry, I can't do this in my head. So it's exactly 20.3 feet, right? So 20 feet, 3 inches, 4 inches, something like that, whatever. So it's 20 feet. So I guess maybe it's the shipping thing that I have in my head. Whatever. But in the wind rating, 150 miles an hour, that works for me. Let's just make sure we put up a mount that can last 150 miles. That the mount has to be able to last more, right? Because that's 150-mile-an-hour winds on this antenna that is pushing actually leverage. This is a huge lever, right? So as the wind is pulling it, there's a lot of strain on that mount. So, we got to take that into consideration. Shipping weight, 65 pounds on that, right? Tower. Oh, so the 40, antenna plus clamps, the whole weight is about 43 pounds, I guess. Plus this would be the mast that we would supply and would attach to the unistrut. And then we also found, and I don't have a picture of it, we found an access point. Let me see if I can find it real quick. An access.
Back on that other picture, it said shipping weight was 65 pounds.
Did it? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused. Hold on a minute. Wait.
I couldn't get the mute button off fast enough.
I can't find it.
It's most likely comes in a wood crate, long wood crate.
Sounds like it, yeah.
I would think so. It could be that thick cardboard.
It'll be in a tube. It'll be in a corrugated tube, a cardboard tube.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my vertical came in, a cardboard tube.
Yeah. Well, this is pretty long, and it's being shipped. So it could be a crate
If you
or?
go back to the other picture, it'll say shipping weight was 65 pounds.
Okay, hold on.
It also, they also described how it's shipped too, and somewhere in there, it said a tube. Shipped in a tube.
This is how
container.
they describe the shipping like this. You give us $400 and we'll drop it off wherever you tell us within the mainland United States. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for the antenna. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. Let me just.
Yeah, if you go back to that one picture, it had shipping weight on it.
Yeah. This one
Hey,
here.
folks, 8 o'clock. I gotta jump off. I'll see you next week.
Okay, yeah.
Dave,
Dave, thanks for joining.
Take care, David.
in the second column, underneath that graph,
Here,
it
You
says
mean-
shipping, third line down.
shipping weight, 65 pounds. Yeah, oh, okay. And then here it says weight 30 pounds.
So that's the antenna.
So you got 30 pounds in wooden crate.
Yeah, that's
That's
definitely wood.
that's gotta be a wooden crate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
It might be
Yeah.
in a tube, but that tube is inside of a wooden crate.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can call when you order, you'll find out everything.
Yep.
Not that
So
it
hope-
matters,
Okay. But this is good.
because we're not specifying how it ships. So
Yeah. But it's well, I have it somewhere. Where do I don't know where it is here. Oh, here, freight for antenna. Ooh. What is this all about here? I don't oh, freight for antennas are down here. Sorry. Okay. I knew I had it in there somewhere. 400.
It's
So-
the length of it that makes it so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably a special run.
Where's it coming from?
Where is it coming from? Good question. It is coming from
Georgia.
let's ask ChatGPT where they are.
I
Okay.
think the Dakotas, if I remember, somewhere out west.
Something like that. Okay. Hold on. Where is Telwave? Oh, it located. Oh, it popped right up. In Michigan? Okay. Oh.
Wait a minute, are you ordering from Telwave or in the antenna farm? This is getting confusing.
Oh, thank you. You're right. All right. So for those who are interested, the antenna farm themselves is in Fremont, California. But as as Al aptly points out, we don't care because
So they drop ship it then.
they could. The antenna farm itself, your two-way radio resource, okay, is here. Let me put it over here. Sorry, I forgot. Is where are we here? Contact us. So that would they are. Oh, come on, seriously? Maybe at the bottom they usually hit. Oh, here, yeah, Montana, Rexford, Montana.
Knew it was Cal.
Yeah. How
No, I
about-
thought it was Dakota, so I guess I was a little closer.
All right.
So that could seriously affect the freight charges. Have you looked at Tesco? I think they're in Indiana. That's where we buy most of our stuff from.
Tesco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
TESSCO. Tesco.
I know. Oh, boy, I haven't heard that name in hold on a minute. Let me just make a note. Let me pull it up real quick.
I mean, they may not have what you're looking for, and usually the prices that you see when you log in aren't the same as when you call and establish yourself.
Yeah. But how do I know? Yeah. I bought my
also,
I bu-
we're kind of far down the road to start making.
well,
major
wrong
changes.
Tesco. We're
Yeah.
not buying groceries, right? No, not. I guess antennas. Hold on. Tesco antennas. We'll say. Antenna. Tesco antennas. Okay, let's look that up. Oh, Tesco Technologies. There we go. We'll take that. And so, what are we talking about? Oh, antennas. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let's just. Yeah, I see. Yeah, they're into the. All right. We'll take a look here. Let me. we'll see. I don't want to take up everybody's time, but definitely we'll follow up with Tesco. I know why I recognize it because I bought my spectrum analyzer, I think from Tesco, maybe. It's very familiar, but anyhow, we'll take a look at
You
that.
mentioned that Telwave is in Michigan, though, the manufacturing site.
Well, that was what the search engine said. So let's see what comes up. Just a second.
Well, hell, if we can get it right from the factory, let's just go drive
I
and
think I saw it was
construct and
Fremont.
get it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Out there in Fremont, California.
Do you have
Yeah,
do you have a subcommittee here, Joe, that's working on these acquisitions and investigating? And we need a group of and more than one person doing this research and finding out, what things are need to be ordered and the time frame, the lead time, and all this stuff. Um,
that,
I can't expect you to do it all the time, Joe.
so we will have one person who will be sending the orders. We haven't exactly figured that out yet, but now is the time to be figuring that out. We're ready. We are so ready to rock and roll here. So as soon as we get this authorization to move ahead, we want to be able to do that. Len, that's a great idea about if we're going to split everybody up and people take on different parts of it and we can come together and have answers, that would be a great way.
Out
A
of
great way to
all
move
of us
forward.
here, I think Sean probably has more experience and knowledge and background and all this stuff than all the rest of us put together. I'd like to see him part of the in here.
Yeah,
Just like now, he come up with this supplier that I never heard of, and you
yeah,
didn't remember it right
I
away.
heard of them.
yeah, yeah.
Len,
Yeah,
Len, as
like
long as you give me a reminder, like I said, I'd be happy to answer any questions I can help with.
Great, great. So how can we so I'll tell you what, let me think about this. Let me lay out well, let's see if we could figure out right here and now. Like if we could get who is from our group here, who would be willing to, what do we need done? It's not that difficult. I'm just trying to picture. So what we need landlord approval. Once we get that, then boom, we can send out, and it's all to the same company, so that makes it easy. So we can fill it out, and we can. What is this? This is something else. So this is from Mike. This is Mike's, which I think came off of. This was the original, I think. Anyway, it's all coming from the antenna farm. So let's get on the phone and find out the email to send this to. Let's get a quote. I mean, I could do that tomorrow myself, actually. Why don't I just do that? I'll send this. Well,
You want to get approval first before you
yeah,
start
yeah,
ordering stuff to put up there. They might say, "Oh no, hell no, you can't
I
do that."
know. Or you can't do that type of antenna. You got to do this type
We'll
of
put it up
antenna.
at Al's house.
You know. But all right, understood. Let me help. Just give me a day. So let me talk to these guys. Give me a day, and we'll have a plan, and we'll go. I mean, unless there's a reason, we can certainly talk to each other again. But we'll communicate. I'll start a copy list, a email chain, and I guess we'll go from there.
Well, the other question that was brought up about a month ago was the rack cabinet, and supposedly Mike had one up north somewhere, and I don't know if anybody went and got it yet, or
What else we got? Any other questions?
Do you think by next week we'll be able to place an order?
Gosh, I hope so. Les, I am telling you, nobody wants to place that order sooner than I do. And we have one more little thing to get through, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal. And let's hope at this time next week, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about placing orders. So
How is that going to be handled? Are you going to approach it as a club, and is a club going to write a check to Antenna Farm? Antenna Farm's going to send the merchandise?
yeah, well, I'll work with Reuven on that, right? Reuven and Bob, right, on exactly how to do that. how to frame it and all that. I mean, I'll basically give them, I'll send this to Antenna Farm. I'll get an actual quote, like we're ready to do business here. So we'll have an exact quote. The quotes generally are good for 30 days, maybe, 30 days. Sometimes they're good for 60 days, but that's more than enough we need. And then once we get the landlord things squared away, Reuven and Bob can give directions, and either they can submit it to Antenna Farm, or I'll submit it to Antenna Farm, or something. But this is the list. I mean, this is the real list. I am under the impression, unless somebody says something different, that this lists everything for the antenna system. And if there's something missing, please point it out, because and it's not to say we're ordering everything right up front, but now's the time to bring it to our attention.
Well, like you were talking about, a wind analyzer would be a good thing to have up there because of the height of the building.
It would. It certainly. I think it would be a cool thing. Let me just point this out, as long as we're talking about that. So, okay. So here's so what do we have here? So here's what we have here. So this is our funding, right? So just based on what Andrew and company, Andrew, and also don't forget Mike AWU had an earlier version of this. He put a lot of good work into it, and Andrew and a couple other people. But once it was issued, if you read the contract, this is kind of how I interpreted things to be allocated out. And this is just, we had to start somewhere, so we started here, and you can see 24% of that funds goes to antenna, hardline, duplexer, circulator. Oh, we didn't even talk about the circulator yet, but stuff like that. So VHF antenna, then the VHF hardware, UHF hardware, the networking portion of it, and here we have the tools, connectors, supply, labor is in here for some reason. Would be the way I would set it up, but that's fine. That's fine. So that just gives us an idea of where we are. We are currently a little bit heavy right now. We're a little bit heavy with this, as you can see. So we're about 11.6 right there, right? And so what do we have here? VH and yeah. So you can see this is ideal, but if we're going to divide it up the way that it is, so that's what I'm using as a guide, just to give us some sense of, can we do better? Can we get this down to something, more reasonable, or do we want, how do we want to organize this as a project goes forward? Okay. Any other questions? Oh, wow, we're way past time here. Okay. All right. That's all I have, unless somebody has something else. Well, all right then. So that's where we are. So stay tuned. I'll start the email chain. Hope to have something good to report back to everybody via email tomorrow. And stay in touch. Okay. Bye-bye.